First order of business. We're going out. I have like 2 bars left on this freaking camera and I don't care. We're going out. Going to the pawn shops to look for some DVDs because I haven't been able to find any freaking deals on any DVDs anywhere lately. It's just, there hasn't been anything. It's been bad. So, yeah. I'm gonna go try the pawn shops, see if there's anything at the pawn shops. And then I'm gonna go see Thor and maybe hop on by to Best Buy because I've heard they actually have some good deals. I'm sorry I didn't believe you, Sean. So yeah. That is the magnificent tree, the only one left around here. And here is the empty plot that hasn't been developed in like 5 years, although they have plans for it apparently. And I get to walk all the way over to that road over there. You see that? It's not as big of a deal as you think. It's been raining all day. If you can't handle a little rain, then I don't know what to do with you because I handle it perfectly fine. And oh, by the way, because I'm sure somebody's going to ask me, Justin, why? Why in the world are you always so out of breath by the time you get home? Well, that's an uphill, alright? You can really barely tell, honestly. I'm amazed how horribly you can tell here, but that's a pretty damn big hill, alright? Now, you don't realize it. It's not the biggest hill ever. It's not a frickin' mountain, although some in the East might call it that. But it's uphill. It's a fairly, not steep, but it's a pretty big uphill curve for around here. Not nearly as big as over there. I guess maybe you can kind of see how there's this whole hill thing going on here by me doing that there. But, you know, it's a pretty big hill, and it takes me about 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes to get up there and then get to my place. So, if you're wondering if it's really that big of a deal to you, the short answer is I'm out of shape. But, well, I'm doing what I can to rectify that. Am I not? Am I not walking around? Do you not see me getting out of breath walking around? I mean, is that not enough for you bastards? There's only so much you can do when you're as poor as I am. Said the guy who just went out and got DVDs. But, yeah, that's another story. Christ. Usually there's not any freaking cars going by. So, of course, the one time I'm actually recording, there are. And yeah, I ran into that situation a lot where there was lots of people, and I'm not going to take the camera and start recording in a pawn shop and have them throw me out because, you know, they're very iffy about that kind of stuff. So I basically just said, screw it. I'm just going to record when I get on home. And I was going to do it at the bus stop there you saw, but there was like 30 minutes for the bus to come, and still somebody frickin' has to go over there and stand right next to me for 20 minutes. I mean, I could have gotten some serious shit done. But no. Oh man, if you could only see this rain all over this thing. So yeah, I got a big old bag of DVDs and Blu-rays to talk about. That'll be good for, I'm sure, a few DVD updates. I'm sure you'll have fun watching those, at least some of you will. But the real reason I'm doing this video right now is because I want to talk about the movie I just saw, Thor. You know, a lot of people were saying this is a great movie. Thor, it's the first great movie of the summer. Kinda is, but
it's still just a summer blockbuster, and really not a very good one at that. I mean, it's good, it's okay, but it's not nearly as good as everyone is hyping it up to be. And I mean, I had a feeling, because I mean, when you got Brian Michael Bendis, a huge figure in the freaking comic book world, telling you, oh, Thor is so great, I've seen it like 4 times, you gotta see it. I kind of get skeptical, because it's like, are you just trying to sell me on that so that I'll go see it, and even though it sucks? And it didn't suck. It didn't really suck. But there were problems with it. And I can tell these problems because I've been reviewing 2 to 3 movies a week for the last year. And I've kind of got it down, you know. There's always more to learn, but I got the whole thing down, basically. And, you know, I know what to look for that makes a movie work and that makes it suck, you know? What makes it work and what doesn't make it work. And there was a lot that made it work, but in this case, in Thor's case, was also a lot that didn't make it work. I mean, the plot is just insanely predictable. It doesn't matter if you don't know anything about Thor and you go into this completely fresh. I mean, literally, if you didn't even know anything about the freaking legend of Thor, or any Greek mythology whatsoever, you could literally go into this movie fresh, completely fresh, and still be able to predict pretty much everything that happens about 15-20 minutes after the movie starts. I'm not kidding. It's that predictable. It's nothing spectacular at all. I don't know why everybody is so high on this. I mean, you can tell from the offset what's going to happen. And what really bugs me, and this is not going to give anything away, but one of the things that really bugged me, hold on, I'll fix the lens. It's probably screaming at the YouTube like, fix the lens! There's water on it! Still going to look like shit, because all I'm doing is wiping it off with my shirt, but what can I do when it rains on you? But, okay, so after all that, I'm finally up at the top of the hill where I need to be here. And just so I can show you how far I've come. I was all the way down there at the stoplight that you can't even see anymore. That is how much I had to walk. So don't give me shit about, oh, he's out of breath, he's out of shape. Because it's like, if you really knew the dynamics of the place that I live, in the Northwest, and just the fact that everywhere you go around here, there's a bunch of hills, so it doesn't matter one block, if there's lots of hills around that place, one city block is more like 4 city blocks, because of all the climbing you have to do. And we're not in the city, we're in the suburbs, so 1 city block is like 2 city or 3 city blocks. So yeah, don't give me any shit, alright? Anyways, Thor. I'm not giving anything away by saying this particular moment in the movie, because it's like the very beginning of the movie. So the movie starts out, and you see this in the trailer, so don't give me any of that spoiler shit. The movie starts out, and you got what's-her-face from Black Swan. The one who won an Academy Award. Yeah, that what's-her-face. But anyways, you got her driving her and her friends into pretty much the heart of like some atmospheric thing. It looks like a tornado, but it's really atmospheric something. Anyways, like, I don't even know what the hell it is. They don't really explain it, you know? But basically they're scientists, and they're going kind of like tornado chasers right for the tornado, only This time they're going directly into the freaking tornado, and they don't seem to care. It's like they want to go into the tornado. Do you have a death wish or something? The next thing you know, of course, again, you see this in the trailer. She runs. She drives into the thing and hits somebody, right? And we all know who that somebody is. Who could it be? Maybe it's the guy the movie's named after. Yeah! But, so you see her drive in there, and when she gets out of the car, of course, you've seen this in the trailer again. She says, oh, please don't be dead, or whatever. And then she says, where did he come from? Where did he come from? Let me think. You just drove directly into a freaking tornado and found a guy right in the middle of it. And what you're telling me is you're wondering where he came from. Where could he have come from? You're a scientist, aren't you? You know, deductive reasoning, at least. I don't care how surprised you were. A little deductive reasoning can tell you that. Yeah, a little deductive reasoning can go a long way, and I don't care how surprised you are. It's not going to take you more than a few seconds to realize there's no other place this guy could have come from, alright? Maybe it doesn't make any goddamn sense, but where did you run into him? You ran into him in the middle of this goddamn thing, so why are you asking, where did he come from? Where did he come from? I don't know, that line just struck me as ridiculous and completely stupid, and it wasn't the only ridiculous and completely stupid line in the movie. To be fair, there weren't too many ridiculous and completely stupid lines in the movie, but the ones that were there really stood out. You know? So it's like, okay, so you got a paper-thin plot where you know what's going to happen. You got some really cheesy, stupid lines that just make you laugh out loud. You know, it's like, this is nowhere near flawless. And I'm not saying everybody made it out to be flawless, but it's just like, there are enough problems with this that I wouldn't give it like an 8 or a 7 or anything like that. I'd give it like a freaking 6 or something like that. Maybe a 5 or a 6 or something like that out of 10. And the fact that that to me is the best movie of the year so far kind of tells you, at least the best theatrical release of the year, kind of tells you this year is about as shitty, if not worse, than last year. Everybody was really excited for this year, saying finally we're out of 2010, finally we're going to get some good movies again. Well, hate to disappoint you, but Thor, that movie you were all looking forward to, not nearly as good as you thought it was going to be. And I'm home. And those are my first impressions on the movie Thor. So, anyways, get ready for a load of DVD reviews. Or, well, DVD updates. Yeah. Bye. And yes, I am home now, but as you can see probably from my glasses a little bit, yeah, you can see some rain there still. It's only been like a few freaking minutes since I got in the door, and I thought of something I needed to say about freaking... There's my freaking computer. Anyways, I thought of something I needed to say about Thor before I just got off the subject of the movie and my first impressions. One of my first impressions that I forgot to mention, the 3D aspect. I went to see the movie in 3D, not really because I wanted to, but because it was the only movie playing at the time and I didn't want to wait 2 hours for the non-3D version. Yeah, they really do make it like impossible to see any of these movies in 2D unless you want to wait a freaking long time. I mean, they have like 4 theaters, like 4 screens reserved for the Thor in 3D. But when it comes to when it comes to 2D, they have one theater, and they play the movie like 4 times a day in 2D. And if you don't get in there in one of those 1 times,
it's aggravating because some of us can't see the 3D. Some of us get sick from the 3D. Some of us don't want the fucking 3D, for the love of fuck. And what really aggravated me about that in this aspect is the 3D for Thor was not fantastic. It was not really that good at all. I mean, there were certain scenes that it's like, yeah, that looks fucking amazing in 3D. And then there were other scenes that were kind of blurry because they didn't do the 3D that well. And then there were other scenes that you couldn't tell there was any 3D at all. And then there were other scenes that did the whole, oh, it's a piece of paper in front of another piece of paper kind of crap. And it's like, this... The 3D was just completely all over the fucking place, alright? So what I'm going to tell you right now is avoid watching this in 3D. Because I don't care if there were a few scenes that looked magnificent. The fact that it's just all over the place and there's never one constant, it's just fucking confusing and you just have to keep trying to focus on, oh, is this in 3D or isn't this in 3D? I can't fucking tell. And oh, this scene looks extremely freaking fuzzy because they did it all wrong. And it's like, oh, it just ruins the experience of the movie. And the movie isn't that good to begin with. It's not bad, like I said, but it's not brilliant like everyone's making it out to be. And, you know, just avoid it. Just avoid seeing this in 3D. And I'm going to go ahead and say, you know, it's not good enough, really, that you should go out of your way to go see it right away. I would say wait until you can see it cheaper, which probably means wait until you can rent it or something. Which, I mean, some of you are going to be like, well, why? But that's not fair. That's not fair at all. The movie isn't really that bad. The movie's actually kind of good. Well, it is. It is good. What I'm saying is it really good enough to spend 10, 15 or more dollars on? Go ahead and say no to that one. $5 to $10? Yeah, maybe. 10, 15? Not really. Especially not in 3D. Avoid 3D at all costs with this one. Avoid it! Anyways, that's final. That's it. That's all I have to say right now about Thor. Leave your comments below about how I am Satan for not liking Thor.